Some small businesses can't afford a directory listing, but they have skills and they have talent. Their talent matches the hard work and the know-how. Their workplace can be from the kitchen or a van. The business might be set up in a home or a garage. You don't find these providers listed in a book directory, but you can find them on eqicaribbean.com, the online tool you'll need to search for products and services. Because as long as you are searching, we'll be here to list them.
Yes, you are not the wrong place. You are in court in session. This evening is Jersey evening. Apparently the Bajan Scout and our Avenger number 2 didn't get the memo.
Next week, don't worry.
So we are Jersey evening on court in session, and I am just plugging here for the Cavaliers because I was really impressed with how they play. Not that I really hail it for them or anything, just that I plug in them in this episode. And of course, Tehran, who is true to form in a Miami Heat, Miami all day, all night, every time. So we go straight to the Miami man, Tehran King, the Avenger number 1. What's your take now on the East, now that he is leading?
Oh, I'm glad you said it. We're going to get to that. But for right now, you know, as usual, we got to stick to the form and talk about the Ben Simmons tracker. As we come on to the trade deadline, we're going to see the culmination or non-culmination of everything that's happening and been happening this season with Ben Simmons. Will he actually be traded for a package, or will this new report about them holding out to see if James Harden wants to come the offseason come true? I personally would love to see them move him just so the man can play. I'm really tired of this whole thing. I'm tired of the Ben Simmons tracker segment on this show, and I want and all that time we could be talking about Miami Heat, which you will be doing right now.
I also think though that on the Ben Simmons front that really and truly they're wasting a Joel Embiid MVP like season just holding on for Ben Simmons
as well. A healthy season from him as well, which, as we know,
is not a guarantee with him.
Right. Exactly.
I'm calling that was bluff.
He's calling it Daryl Morey's bluff.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, and I just want to step aside real quick. I really thought you were wearing that Cavalier jersey because you were fed up with the Lakers finally switched. But getting back, as you said, you know, all day, all night, Miami, true to form, getting healthy. Actually, even before we were healthy, we were making good things happen. And now that they are getting back their team piece by piece, they are first place in the East. Hopefully, the Lakers can finish off the Nets right now, as they're playing right now, and I can maintain that first spot. But the biggest thing happening with them is the fact that Victor Oladipo today was the first day he practiced with the team, and he's supposed to be joining the team in February, hopefully early February, mid-February. So other than that, it's just Marquise Morris that has to come back now. Kyle Lowry's out for personal reasons. He could be back any day now, and I may finally get to see my entire roster play for the first time. I think I saw a number the other day. Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo have literally only played 7 games together. And I think if you add a hero to those 3, they've only played 17 minutes in total this season together, which is crazy. I could be wrong with the numbers, but something like that. Like they haven't played at all. And as you know, they're the best players for the Miami Heat. And it's crazy because we're still first in the East, so we're going to see what happens. It's going to be an interesting second half of the season. Chicago has been injury riddled yet again. They just lost both Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso for 6 to 8 weeks. To see that naturally want to drop in the standings a little bit. But luckily, they have gotten back some bodies with Zach LaVine, and I think it's Javonte Green or Javonte
Yeah,
Green.
Javonte Green, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think DDJ isn't too far out as well. The Nets, another team. This season, the theme of the season has just been injuries. That's the truth. The Nets are injury riddled. The Cavs just lost Jarrett Allen I don't think that one is that bad. Even the Knicks just lost Mitchell Robinson after just getting him out. This has just been a theme for the season for all the teams. Klay Thompson came. Oh wait, not the East. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, that's just what it is. Honestly, I feel like the reason I think Miami has a chance to win this year is just because of the depth alone in this injury-riddled and COVID-infected season. Like, luck and depth can win you this season. It's just that simple.
Okay. All right, that is the Avenger number 1 on the East. So we go now to Avenger number 2, Keelan Phillips, here in the paint. What about the West, sir?
The usual. Sterling wants to also stick to format. I will also stick to format. Start with trending down and trending up. Trending down, we have the Thunder. They've lost 6 games in a row, and the Kings lost 3 games in a row. Now, as you've realized, we're seeing a trend about certain teams that are always in the trending down, and certain teams are always in the trending up. In the trending up list, it is the Suns, who won 7 games in a row. They are currently the hottest team in the league, and they have been for a while now.
Debatable.
Yeah, but their records speak for itself. So, in the standings now, a little movement in the top half of the standings. The Jazz have dropped to 4th, and the Grizzlies are now 3rd. So, it looks like their rise is continuing. I don't think that they'll break into the top 2, but you never know, because one of the topics is the Warriors, and particularly Steph Curry's struggles. Now, since the start of the new year, Curry is averaging 20.8 points per game, 5.4 rebounds, and 7 assists. Those numbers aren't bad, but when we're talking about Steph Curry, they're a little bit down. But that's not the shocking part. He's shooting 36% from the field and 30% from 3. That is the shocking part. Like, he is struggling with his shot. I think last night, even against the Jazz, he had 1 of 13 or something like that. He is struggling to find his shot right now. And then with Draymond being out and Clay not playing back to back games yet, there may not be any groove that they once were earlier in the season. I don't think that they'll drop really out to the top 3 or whatever, because they have a good enough lead. But his slump has actually dropped him almost, not completely out of the MVP race, but like, he was top 3, and a lot of people don't even really have him in the top 5 anymore, because like, even in my MVP track, I got Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid in the top 3, and then because KD's obviously out, so like he ain't gonna be able to make any ground. I know Curry is. I see people having a good set of names above him. So next thing that I want to talk about in the West is the Lakers. Everybody's favorite team to talk about on the media. El's favorite team. No, they recently got back Anthony Davis. Well, he's been cleared to play in the game. And Westbrook has been playing better. He has been playing better. Does he still fit with the Lakers? No. But he has been playing better. He hasn't been turning over the ball as much. But to borrow a phrase from El, the Lakers can guard a door with a gun. They can't guard anybody.
Yeah, can't guard a doorway with a gun.
Exactly. So that is a problem for the Lakers, is defense. The offense is also a problem, but it's really the defense. My team of the week is the Suns, and my player of the week is Jokic, who averaged 36 points per game, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists, and 2 steals on 65% shooting. My God.
He was very fantastic, helping me out in my fantasy. I still ain't know the table though. I mean, like, Every time we change a player, he going into COVID protocols. I just right?
Ridiculous.
So now
Yeah,
we
boy.
get to the point of fantasy. We go to the Bajan Scout Alan Pinder. What do you have for us? Any surprises? Anything to any great knowledge to impart on us today?
Well, as the Avengers mentioned earlier, the main issue has been injuries for all around the league. So that's created opportunity for a few guys. So Bismack Biyombo, he's filling in for DeAndre Ayton, and he's been playing extremely well in his filling role.
Yeah.
I think he's a good pickup if you need someone on a short-term basis, a big for some points, and some rebounds, and maybe some blocks. He's been doing extremely well. He's been taking full advantage of his opportunity. Also on the Indiana Pacers, Chris Duarte and Justin Holiday, they're not the most consistent. I'll probably go with Chris Duarte right now, but he's doing a pretty good job filling in for Indiana. I mean, their entire starting lineup was out for a couple of games last week. So Brogdon's been shut down for around 2 weeks or so. LeVert is in the out-day lineup. So yeah, Duarte is going to get a lot of run coming up. He was started the season really hot. I think he hit a little bit of a wall, but I think he's starting to get his footing back a bit now. So I think those are two guys that can definitely help you in the short term here.
Okay.
Sorry, did you say that LeVert is out the lineup?
But he's been in and out, I should say.
In and out.
Yeah, he's been in and out. He's in right now, but he was out the last couple of games with some calf soreness.
Okay.
So that's the fantasy man, Alan Pinder. Yeah, that's the fantasy man, Alan Pinder. And he doesn't usually set us wrong. So if you know you want to hold Biyombo to see what could happen, you could take Alan's pick. However, we are now to the segment where we call At the Line. And at the line tonight is the Curry experiment. And I will start with you, Bajan Scout Alan Pinder. What is your opinion of this experiment with Curry?
Kyrie Irving.
Oh, you mean Kyrie? Oh, sorry, you
Curry, sorry.
Oh,
Curry.
Yes. I don't think it's gonna work out well for them in the long term. It's gonna help them a little bit in the season. I mean, they're on a bit of a stretch now where they're playing a lot of road games, but I think at the point in time he came back, he was gonna have more home games and road games, So I think after this road heavy schedule, they're going to miss him in the outfield lineup. And in the playoffs, I don't think it's really going to work. I mean, if they end up with a better seed, I mean, they're going to have him for half the games, not for half the games in the series, or even most of the games in the series. I don't think it's going to work out for them in the long term. I think the teammates that are tolerating it right now, when the chips are down and things get tough, I think they're going to start to resent it a little bit. I think it's going to cost them James Harden in the offseason as well. So, I don't think it's going to work out well. But I don't think the Nets really have much of a choice there. Or I think they're a lose-lose situation because Kyrie Irving wasn't going to do anything to make sure he plays all the games in the season. So, and this is the best they could do, having for a little bit of time, but having him for half your time is not much better than not having him at all, in my opinion.
Yes, Teron. This is a professional basketball team, and you would expect that with a professional team that they would not tolerate this sort of in the lineup. So, what's your opinion on the Kyrie situation?
I just feel as though even if they were to find a way around it, like there was a thing earlier about them constantly paying fines. Yes, the Brooklyn Nets can afford that, but to me that just sends the wrong message too. So as a professional sports organization, you don't do those kind of things. I find I kind of have to reiterate a lot of what Alan said. I feel as though the guys that are saying, okay, yeah, cool right now, I feel like when it gets down to the dogfight that is the postseason, and you have a tough game coming up and a tough team coming up, and it's a way team. I mean, sorry, if they don't have
home court advantage on everybody.
Right. If they don't have that.
Or full complement of players.
Right.
Yeah, and like that's literally your second best player. Not having him for half of every single series, that's going to become annoying. And I didn't even think of that until Alan said it, but that may actually be what causes James Harden to leave. I heard some reports recently about him being interested. He would be well open to a Philadelphia move, and I didn't really take it on, but now that he says that, I mean, actually makes some sense.
Well, I don't see that would be very interesting. There's a move there. Well, there's an opinion about Kyrie Irving that he cannot be trusted. So he is now proving it really, because I could understand in the early days when you didn't really know what was going on. When people were a little skeptical about the vaccine because it was new, they did it fast. I understand that part, but this is 2 years in, and you don't see players dropping down, dying, or anything like that. So I don't understand what is his hesitancy. But as it is to me, I always feel it is a choice thing, but I understand that choices have consequences. So what is your opinion there, Avenger number 2? Or you just agree that it can work?
Nah, experiment is definitely the word there. Teron said something that was really. I have a slight different opinion on it. Teron said that as a sports team, that you might not want to send that message, but at the end of the day, a sports team is about one thing, and that is about winning a title. So if having Kyrie for some of the games as opposed to none, they believe is their best chance of winning, even if it means paying the fine, I think that they would do that regardless of the message they're saying, because as they say, at the end of the day, it's a sports team. But that's a different argument. But Kyrie Irving, you want to say something?
If they do it, I feel like they'll only do it for season, because it doesn't make sense.
No. I don't think that they'll do it past that season. Yeah, I don't think that.
I will find it difficult. I will find it really difficult to do it in the playoffs, because you remember you could play Monday and then you could play Wednesday or Thursday, right? And you could be Monday in Brooklyn and then Wednesday in, say, Philadelphia. Yeah. So my thing is, he's gonna fly to Philadelphia. He can watch the game. I don't. To me, it's not
he's gonna go to Philadelphia and play.
Situation. Huh?
He's gonna go to Philadelphia and play.
Yeah, to play.
I just not going to trip home.
Yeah, if you go back home, you can best stay in Philly.
Yeah, so you would stay in Philly.
My thing about it is, if they only do it for the playoffs, it would be less games in total that they get fined for than if they were for the regular season and the playoffs.
Well, actually, by the way, it's not an option though. They can't actually do it.
That was another thing I was gonna say, that regardless of all that, I saw that it wasn't even an option. But something else about the
the reason why allow them.
Yeah, I saw something about that. But the reason why it's such a tricky situation is because I don't think it would have been such a big, not a big deal, but it's a bigger deal because KD is out. I feel like if KD wasn't out and it was KD and Harden, it would be cool. But KD being out and it's just Harden for like half a games, it kind of puts a lot of pressure on them, and then Harden might be frustrated that I got to deal with this when it should really be two of us all the time and this and that. So I can see that the tensions I don't want to put it over there, because for all we know, the team could be saying Kumbaya every game, even if Kyrie ain't playing the game. So I don't want to put it out there. But
how long is KD out?
Well, I actually
for 4 to 6 weeks.
I think you're actually onto something, because for some of the reporting I was hearing, I think that was part of the reason why the organization kind of caved and decided to let Kyrie play like half of the games when they originally at the beginning of the season.
Because of it was
because
of KD and the COVID protocol, where everybody was like in health and safety was like, I feel like we gotta do this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think James at that point, I think he was a little bit he's a little bit frustrated by the situation and was thinking, hey,
Yeah.
get Kyrie the hell out some of the time. You know, it
Yeah.
up a lot of minutes as it is. It's just too tough.
And yeah, it's just a situation.
I will say, I let the Avenger #1 have a happy evening. I think of all the teams that handle this COVID protocol, the Heat did it the best. I don't know how they did it, but they did it the best because every team that had people out made a slide, even if it was just slide, but it seems that the Heat were able to, keep playing at a high level and actually drafted people that suit their style of play. And it reminds me of Spurs and also of the Warriors. They always get people that, that works in their system as opposed to just getting the best player out there. And that I feel optimistic that the Heat will do some damage in the playoffs, even if they get and if they get back Oladipo and he in 90% shape or even 80%, that will be going to be hell to beat the Heat, especially the East.
Wait a minute, El. So you're telling me that a team that draft people or pick people that fit their system is going to actually work? Oh, I feel that other teams should do that. So
the problem with the other teams, right? The other teams don't have a strong identity. Like, when somebody go to the Heat, you expect this was going to happen. Then go to the Warriors, expect this going to happen. When you go to Spurs, right? But when you are the Kings, you understand? Even though you're the Lakers, I mean, you are the Lakers. You don't know where you get each night. You don't know where you're getting.
Yeah, boy.
You might get steak one night, and then next night you get fish. So it's not consistent. And then you turn night you'll get milk. So it just but you see, Warriors is played the same way when they get beat or when they win. Spurs play the same way if they're winning or if they're losing. Heat is played the same way if you make them at 1 o'clock in the morning and with Yami in the eye, they still play the same way. So those are three teams to me that got a strong identity and that they have really used, they really draft the people that they want. And lots of other teams that building up to that stage, but they are not there yet.
Yeah.
Right. So that is the East, the West, at the line, and the fantasy. So to our favorite part, pick 5. Last week, minus Avenger #1, who was in health and safety protocols. We had everyone was 3 and 5 last week, so there were no advantages. What we decided to do with you, Avenger #1, is that we can do percentages so that you will not be it will be disadvantage to you when it comes to any season. So on Wednesday, we have on the pick 5, Denver at Brooklyn. This should be an interesting game. Denver at Brooklyn.
Where is it playing?
Yeah, that's the first
They're in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
They're in Brooklyn. New York.
Denver.
Yeah, I'm going Denver this one. Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
Okay.
Denver.
Who's gonna start your case?
Okay, so you go with Denver. You go with Denver.
I think everyone said Denver.
Yeah, I go with Denver.
Denver.
Okay. Denver for everybody.
I assume that means you're going Denver as well.
Yeah. Lakers at Philly.
Eddie healthy too?
I might actually go Lakers. I'm actually gonna go Lakers.
Lakers too?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Keelan going Lakers and Tyrone going Lakers. What about you, Alan Pinder?
Philly.
You go with Philly. So I think I go with Philly as well. Although as a Lakers fan,
Back in the gates, you're a team.
Yes.
Wait a minute. First,
I'm not happy with them. That is what you call. That's what you call a protest vote.
Clearly.
On Friday, Utah at Memphis. Utah at Memphis.
Utah at who?
Memphis.
Memphis. Is Donovan out of special protocol yet?
He's still in the concussion protocol. I don't know when he will be back.
That was tough because he could come back on the day.
Yeah.
I'll go to Memphis.
You're going with Memphis, Alan?
Yeah, I'll go with the home team here.
Okay, so you're going with Memphis. What about you there, Avenger number one?
I'm gonna go with them. They're pretty hot too. Yeah.
You're going with Memphis. What about you?
I might go with Jazz. I feel this is the one I might step my night out a little bit.
I was gonna go with Jazz, right? And then Keelan chose the Jazz, and usually so.
Considering that,
I feel that he's gonna back the train tonight. He's gonna back the train this time. So I go with Jazz. So I am with the Jazz. On Saturday, Indiana at Dallas. I could pencil in Alan for you for Indiana, or are you gonna go with?
I'll make the irrational home and go with
it.
You made the irrational pick and pick Indiana. What about you there? What about you there, Teron? Indiana at Dallas.
I am going to take the uneducated pick of Indiana. I actually don't know who's playing for Indiana, and I haven't watched Dallas for the year. Actually, that's the one team I haven't seen. So I'm just gonna play the East team because I represent the East. So
I don't think anybody from Indiana knows who's going to play that game either.
He's going with Indiana, but I will take Dallas, and I know that Keelan going with Dallas too.
Luka Magic, yes sir.
On Sunday, Portland at Chicago.
Portland at Chicago.
DeMar DeRozan.
I can tell you that I'm going to Chicago.
I ain't going with DeMar DeRozan. Look at the shirt. Look at the shirt. I can go with anybody else. DeRozan has to. Give me DeRozan.
Avenger number one, going with Avenger number two. Sorry, going with Chicago. And what about you, Avenger number one?
Levine is back. DeMar DeRozan is playing. Portland doesn't play D. I'm gonna go Portland. I'm kidding, Chicago.
Yeah, you go with Chicago too. So I think you go with Chicago too, Alan?
I'll go with the Blazers here. Blazers have been hot. I think they that's here potentially. So
whoa. I'm
a pole by it.
Well, I have I've come to learn that that the Bajan Scout usually does some good picking, but I don't think I agree with this one, but we'll see. So, ladies and gentlemen, those viewers out there, this has been Court in Session, and right now we are adjourned.